This is a 1968 Roadrunner two-door post where it all began. Now keep in mind, this car is designed to appeal to teenagers, people under the age of 18, 19, who could actually afford to buy this car thanks to its $2,900 base sticker price. By contrast, a GTO or a Chevy SS396 or an Olds 442 was about $500 more. But the beautiful thing about the Roadrunner is that Plymouth didn't cheap out. You got standard 383, 335 horsepower big block engine, a 4-speed or automatic transmission standard, 11-inch drum brakes, heavy-duty police suspension, all those things standard for that under $3,000 price point. Keep in mind that when the Roadrunner came out in 1968, Plymouth only thought they'd sell maybe 5,000 cars. In the end, they sold 45,598 units. One of the big reasons for all those sales was the tie-in with the Warner Brothers cartoon Bird the Roadrunner. Now I understand something like $10,000 were paid to Warner Brothers by Plymouth in order to utilize the cartoon likeness of the Roadrunner and also this. This is a special horn that was part of every Roadrunner between 1968 and about 1979. This was made by Spartan, and these have aluminum windings instead of the usual copper windings, which makes them register a little bit higher. They go beep beep instead of beep beep like a regular car horn. So by installing this very horn in all of these cars, it had an instant connection to all those kids who grew up watching the Roadrunner comic books. And the better thing too was that the Roadrunner two-door post listed at $2,868. That was the base price on one of these cars, and for that you get a standard 383, standard 11-inch police drum brakes, standard heavy-duty suspension, and a 4-speed stick or the automatic for free. By comparison, a car like a GTO was $500 more, and they cheaped out. 3-speed manual standard, you had to pay more for the 4-speed, and you got 9-inch drum brakes. 68 Roadrunner, where it all started, let's take a closer look. Oh, okay, well I see something right away here. These cars came with a 383, great engine, but somebody along the way has snuck a 440, a tall deck into this. How do we know that? We look right here on the front of the block, that rectangular region cast in, that tells us this is a 440 or maybe a 426, but I'll say it's a 440, probably a 1970 motor, something like that, and more torque, although it bolts into the same spot that the 383 bolts into, so no harm done. Another cool thing on this one is they did transfer this. This fan is a viscous drive, also known as a torque fan. This doesn't bolt to the engine directly or to the hub directly, but rather has a liquid-fueled clutch. So this spins free until certain RPM and temperature settings happen, and then it cools the motor. It's able to freewheel at higher RPM, which gives about 10 free horsepower. And again, this is the original fan transferred from the 383 onto this visiting 440. Inside, this Roadrunner has been stripped out, but we can see remnants of the carpet surrounding the 4-speed boot here on the floor. So it probably was a bent seat car, base piece. I love the idea it was a 4-speed car. However, what we see now is a vintage B&M automatic shifter. So somebody along the way put an automatic transmission in this car, and this vintage B&M shifter right here is probably worth a few $100 on eBay. That's one of the cool things about the yard. You never know what you're going to find. Beyond that, the 4-speed pedals are still in place. The 120-mile-an-hour standard dash is also in place. Now, this one is a two-door post. It has the fixed B-pillar with push-out rear windows. On these cars, the rear windows didn't roll down. The hardtop joined the two-door post on December 18th of 1967. Keep in mind that they started building Roadrunners in July of 1967 in order to keep up and predict the demand for the 68 model year. That said, of the 45,598 Roadrunners built, 29,240 were pillar coupes like this one versus 15,358 hardtops. So the pillar coupe, far more common than the hardtop. They're both very cool. Sad thing to see this car in the junkyard.